guys, I've managed to grab a very quick 30 to 40 minutes, and I'm hoping the weather's not going to be too windy out here, but my aim is to Re-Maiden my Strix Goblin. Essentially what I've done is I've pulled out the eagle tree vector and all sorts that were inside it, replaced the interior now, so I've got a little Matek F40 something or the other board on it, so this is all INAV'd up essentially, and I'm hoping that I might be able to get some half decent performance out of INAV. You know, I'm relatively a newcomer to the INAV side of things. I've used Betaflight for years and years now, but INAV has just, well, I guess maybe the reason is that for quite a long time I stopped flying wings. I just kind of got sucked into the whole drone market, and in the last year wings have become appealing again, and when you do that, well, what's better than INAV? So at this point we are going to see how the Strix Goblin works with INAV and whether or not I've actually set the thing up right. I've kind of gone the whole hog on it. I've got launch modes for launching it, I've got modes for cruise, and you name it, it should do everything I want. The proof will be in the pudding. But I will see you at the field shortly. Cheers guys. Well guys, the good news is INAV worked. It wasn't, well, I'm sure you've probably seen in the footage, my first launch attempt was somewhat dramatic would be the word. I actually skidded across the ground before bouncing up into the air and then managing to get liftoff, but essentially I managed to attribute that to the fact that after rebuilding all of this on my vector, I hadn't catered for the fact I'd programmed in a little bit more up trim on the setup, with the result that once I went over to INAV, my sort of reflex on the ailerons was just not enough. So my first launch resulted in very much a whoop, down it went. But hey, I got it in the air, I flew around a bit, then I took it out for a second fly, and in that case the launch was a whole lot better. You know, now in this case what I've actually done is I've only enabled horizon mode for launching. I'm not that overwhelmed by the INAV auto launch facility. I think I'll try it on a wing which is not quite as challenging to get in the air first. But I think personally for something like the Goblin, if you were to take, say, horizon mode to keep the wingtips level and to cater for any torque roll, and probably on the radio program in sort of maybe 10% up elevator, you know, so that when you're in launch mode you're immediately climbing and immediately leveled out, then I actually think I'll tame the whole launch down. Essentially what I found today is I was able to give it a good, like, the wings kept absolutely level, which is exactly what it was meant to do, but I really did have to bang in some up elevator to prevent it from greasing in onto the deck again. So maybe if I just have that there to start with, it will make life easy. But yeah, I'm happy. The rebuild works, return to home works, you know, it does exactly as it's meant to do. So I guess that means I might get on to actually building my second Goblin now, because I've got a new one sitting in the box, which I ripped out the guts of the Eagle Tree one because I wanted to really prove that I could get everything working in it. And I think the next build is going to be that much more, you know, neat, tidy, none of the rubbish going on in it, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So